KJ Media 100. Always keeping it in 100. I also want to talk about two different people that are probably at two different points in their lives, but they're two black men that are in the public eye. The rapper Offset and the actor Clifton Powell. All right. So, Offset, we know Offset. We know who Offset is. Offset says he wouldn't get married again. Jokes, it's a mission that's been complete. And this is to let you know, Clifton Powell, that's Clifton Powell right there, but we'll get to Clifton Powell. Offset, how old is he? 33, 1991. All right, as we know, Cardi B says she has hate in her heart over Offset, but yeah, so they were together. As you know, Cardi B were together for I think a long time, honestly. 2017 they started dating. Damn, Offset's a father of 6 children by 4 different women. Anyway, but this, if you want to check out this podcast, it's Full Send Podcast. I think I reviewed one of his videos before with somebody else. Cardi B filed for divorce from the rapper in July 2024. It is not yet finalized. The two share their 3 children: Culture Kyrie 7 and Wave Set 3.5. Wait, what? And Blossom. Oh, 3 children? Hold up. 11. Wait, whoa. This changes everything in my head. What the fuck? They got 3 kids? Hold up. Let me just be. Cardi B has 3 children. Rapper Offset 3 kids? Bro, I had no idea they had 3 kids. And bruh. And she pregnant right now with another man after having the child's less than a year old. All right, this is crazy. I'm over here thinking to myself. The rapper 33 candidly discussed the topic of holy matrimony during an appearance on the Friday, August 22nd edition of the Full Send podcast. His comments came amid his divorce from estranged wife Cardi B. The rapper tied a knot September 20th, 2017. During their romance, the former couple welcomed their daughter, Culture Kyrie 7, Wave Set 3.5, and their third child, Blossom, was born in 2024. September. So that child is barely hitting a year. Cardi initially filed for divorce in 2020, but called it off. So Cardi filed for divorce in July 2024 while she was pregnant. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. After being asked by host Kyle Forger why he would never get married again, Offset said, "It's simply not for me. I've done it, had 3 kids with it. It's like a mission that's been complete," he said. "You see, I experienced it, so I've already done it," he said, while reiterating that he will still not want his happily after with someone new because everything is temporary. "I would say, unless you're cool with changing your life entirely, you got a partner that's different, especially when it's written and it's a real thing. Like, it's the partner's, like, is this partner's different?" What the fuck? Nevertheless, this man 32 years old. He's a millionaire. He already got 3 kids. I always say men shouldn't start having kids till they're in their early 30s. You know, of course, I didn't follow my own rules, but then again, I was a little 21-year-old nigga at one time running around with all these hoes.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
But I wish Offset the best of luck. Obviously, him and Cardi. And hey, man, live your life. Like, shout out to Coach Greg Adams, free agent lifestyle, man. That's how you should be living. That's the way a man wants to live.
That was legitness.
Yeah, it was. Huh?
You know what I mean? That's the, I want to say, legit way. But let's go to Clifton Powell. 69 years old. You know him from tons and tons and tons of movies. But Clifton Powell recently was on a podcast. And he said something very interesting. Let's go to that real quick. Let's go ahead. So he's on The Art of Dialogue. Great podcast, by the way. You know, if I'm not watching Vlad TV, I'm watching The Art of Dialogue. But the interviewer starts asking him about, you know, marriage and whatnot. And the thing about Clifton Powell is this is an older man. When an older man speaks, you listen. You listen to that wisdom. You listen to what he has to say. He's been through things, and he's seen some things. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what Mr. Powell has to say about marriage.
Understand when I started in the business. So one of the panelists asked me, "What's the biggest mistake I made?" I think the biggest mistake I made in the beginning was getting married. Not so much because marriage is bad, but trying to build my career inside of my marriage.
So that's a message. That's a jewel right there. When you're young in your career, building yourself up, trying to get to that place you want to get to, that has to be everything to you. You know, dealing with girls, women, even a wife. Unless your wife is 100% pushing you forward and everything is you, then cool, be with your wife. But most people have their own lives. You know, when I'm in a relationship, I don't work as hard. So he's talking about when he was young. So when you young, you don't work as hard. You got that pretty young thing sitting there waiting for you. You can't wait to get home. You looking at her, laying in that bed. The heaven's gates is opening up to you when you see them legs separating. You feel what I'm saying? Opposed to when you on the road, you working, you just work harder. You work harder. You know? That's just not just men. That's women too. When women want to chase careers or find a relationship, I think women suffer more. Because then you start wanting a man that offers quote unquote more, and you can never attain that. And then next thing you know, as a woman, you turn around, you 33, you Kayla Nicole in his bed. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy, you can rebound. You can rebound a whole lot easier. Check out and see what this OG, what else the OG got to say.
My career making a lot of money, I was out of my house maybe 80% of the time. And no marriage can survive if you're not giving it attention. And then there's all the other temptations on the road, the women, the gambling, the drinking, the partying. And before you know it, you're in divorce court. And that's really what happened. I survived it, you know, because money is amazing. But if you're not happy, money is not good. So I don't blame my ex-wife. I don't blame anyone. I just, with my journey, trying to help young entertainers understand, build your career first and then focus on marriage and children and things like that.
There you go. From the OG himself. From the OG himself. Like I said, the one thing that I think you can probably build up your wife and family first is if she's 100% on your side. You are everything. She is pushing you. Everybody knows you are the actor. You are the man. You're gonna make it into Hollywood. But of course, when you're young and he's a struggling, because you mentioned 1979, him, Denzel, Angela Bassett. Yeah, I mean they left New York and went to California. Broke, struggling actors. So you gotta pay the bills. So the stress of all that and whatnot is a lot. But he's gonna say something very, very, very interesting right here. Very interesting about men. And it's something that took me about 35 years to figure out on my own about myself about how men are. And I take to tell women these things every chance I get. Check out what he says about how men and women are wired.
And men, is that men have a hormone, and of course, I didn't understand this before I got married. Men have a hormone inside of their brain called dopamine. It controls the pleasure center it's in the pleasure center of your brain. And that's drugs, sex, gambling, smoking, partying, and rock and roll. And I did all of that. I didn't do drugs. That's the only reason I'm sitting here right now. But I partied, I gambled, I had a lot of women, and I was never home. And it's very difficult because women have a hormone in their brain called oxytocin, which is the cuddle hormone. So intimacy is personal for women. It's emotional. It's not personal for men unless you fall in love with someone. And I didn't understand any of that. So one of the things that I want to do with my lecture or the evening with Clifton Powell is break all that down for young entertainers, because back in my day, nobody guides you through. There are no mentors to call. Because now.
So, like, you heard it from his mouth. This man is 69, almost about to be 70 years old, Joe. You heard it out the OG's mouth. Like, I'm going to actually go ahead and watch this whole interview on my own. But it's those jewels he's dropping. Like,
You cold. He cold.
It makes me miss, my grandparents and speaking to them about and learning all the things I need to learn about life, but let me know what you think in the comments about this video. All right, KJ Media 100. I'm out.
Yeah.